In Madagascar, there is a saying whispered from one generation to the next: the dead are not to be feared. They are to be honored, celebrated, and held close to the heart of the living. But woven into this beautiful belief is a stark warning, a caution that hangs in the air like the scent of incense. Never, ever disturb the ancestors without respect. This warning is deeply tied to a unique and profound ritual known as Famadihana, or the turning of the bones. It's a ceremony of pure love and remembrance. Families gather at their ancestral tombs, open them, and carefully bring out the bodies of their loved ones, which are wrapped in traditional silk shrouds. They clean them, re-wrap them in fresh cloth, and then they celebrate. They dance with their ancestors, carrying them aloft on their shoulders. They share stories, news of the family, and laughter. It's a joyous reunion, a bridge between the world of the living and the realm of the spirits. The purpose is to show the ancestors they are not forgotten, that they are still a cherished part of the family. At the end of the day, they are returned peacefully to their tombs, to rest until the next celebration. It's a beautiful testament to the enduring bonds of family. But what happens when this sacred tradition is disrespected? What happens when the ceremony is rushed, when it's mocked, or performed without the sincerity it demands? Some believe that when the heart isn't in it, the ancestors notice, and they do not forgive. This isn't a story from a horror movie. For some, it's a chilling piece of local history. Let's journey back a few years, to a remote village nestled deep in the highlands of Madagascar. A family, perhaps a bit too modern, a bit too disconnected from the old ways, decided to hold a Famadihana. The preparations were hasty. As the day wore on, the celebration became less about honoring the dead and more about the party itself. They drank heavily. Their laughter was not of joyous remembrance, but of careless revelry. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, they rushed to rebury their ancestors, eager to get the ritual over with. They didn't take the proper time, didn't offer the right prayers. They sealed the tomb just before the first rays of dawn, thinking their duty was done. They were wrong. That very night, an unsettling quiet fell over the village, soon broken by the frantic howling of every dog in the area. It wasn't their usual barking. It was a sound of pure terror. Villagers, tucked away in their homes, were jolted awake by another noise. A strange dragging sound. The distinct scrape of cloth against dry, dusty earth. It was followed by footsteps, moving through the village's narrow paths. The steps were slow, heavy, and uneven, as if someone was learning how to walk all over again. One woman, her curiosity overpowering her fear, crept to her window and peered into the moonlit darkness. What she saw made her blood run cold. Figures, wrapped head to toe in white burial shrouds, were moving through the village. Their faces were completely hidden by the cloth. Their movements were stiff, unnatural, like puppets on a string, like bodies forcing themselves to move after years of stillness. They weren't running or attacking, they were just walking, slowly, deliberately. They were making their way toward the homes of the living. A wave of collective fear washed over the village. No one dared to open a door. No one made a sound. They simply huddled inside, listening to the soft, scraping footsteps outside their walls, praying for the sun to rise. The night stretched on for an eternity. When morning finally broke, the village was eerily silent. The dogs had stopped howling. The footsteps were gone. Cautiously, people began to emerge from their homes. They found something that confirmed their deepest fears. Footprints, made by cloth-wrapped feet, formed a perfect circle around the entire village. They were everywhere in the dust, near the doorways, under the windows. But here's the most chilling part. There were no tracks leading back to the tombs. It was as if the dead had simply vanished with the morning light. The village elders were summoned immediately. They knew what this meant. The ancestors were displeased. The botched Famadihana had been a grave insult. For days, they performed cleansing rituals, burning sacred herbs and offering sacrifices, begging the spirits for forgiveness. They pleaded with the ancestors to return to their rightful resting places and find peace. Did it work? Some villagers will tell you yes, that the spirits were appeased and returned to their tombs. They'll say the balance was restored. But others aren't so sure. They speak in hushed tones, glancing over their shoulders. They say that on certain nights, when the wind dies down to a whisper and the moon hangs pale and ghostly in the sky, you can still feel them. The ancestors still walk. They are not angry anymore. They are just watching. Their silent procession is a constant, quiet reminder to the living, a message carried on the still night air. Remember who truly owns this land. Remember to honor the dead. Because they are always, always watching. This story serves as a powerful reminder of the deep cultural significance of rituals like Famadihana. It's not just a tradition. It's a living, breathing covenant between generations. It's about respect, love, and the unbreakable connection that transcends even death itself. When that connection is honored, it brings joy and blessings. But when it's taken for granted, it can awaken something ancient, something that demands to be remembered. So the next time you hear about strange or unique cultural practices, remember this tale from Madagascar. These traditions are more than just stories. They are the threads that weave the fabric of a community, connecting the past, present, and future. And sometimes those threads are held by hands that are no longer among the living. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of Malagasy tradition and lore. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious and captivating cultures. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this a cautionary tale or something more? Until next time, stay curious